The Lake Club in Springfield, Illinois. Something was already waiting when the lights came on.
It was very, very uncomfortable. I was unsettled, and then
They're gonna die. They're gonna die.
What drove a dead man to warn the living, and what he was willing to do to be heard, began 3 months earlier. What haunts you has a name. You may not know it yet, but somewhere between the life you are living and the darkness pressing against its edges, something is waiting to be found. These are the real stories of ordinary people who have crossed into that darkness and came back changed. The Lake Club in Springfield, Illinois, was built for celebrations. For decades, the music never stopped and the drinks never ran dry. But some things that walked through a door never walked back out. One man's rage and grief soaked into these walls long ago, and now it won't let go. In the summer of 1974, Lake Club owners Frank Novak and Ray Santiago showed the club to a prospective renter named Jack Moran.
I had a construction business with my dad and brother. Due to the energy crunch, the business failed. We pooled our money together and started looking for something to invest in. And that's when we found out the old Lake Club is up for grabs, and we jumped at it.
The place first opened in 1941, playing to crowds of up to 1,200 guests. Legendary performers graced its stage. But it was closed for 6 years, and the owners kept it pristine. They kept it a turnkey operation despite the fact that it was closed.
The glasses were all there, the chairs were all there. It was almost like walk in and open up. It was like too good to be true, a dream come true.
Jack finalizes the deal and begins spending hours long alone in the club. One afternoon, he hears something unexpected.
I could hear the piano playing in the back. I called out, nobody answered. I walked all over. There was nobody there. I felt a little chill, and it was like a dog that runs out at you when you're walking down a dark street. Needles all over your body. In the back of my mind, I just kept wondering, did I really hear piano playing? I couldn't explain it, so I shrugged it off.
In the fall of 1974, the Lake Club opens under Jack's management.
When the word finally got out that we opened the doors the first night, we were completely overwhelmed. They drank us out of beer, we were out of booze, we ran out of ice. We made it through the first night, and we just kept going from there.
Jack turns to musician Danny Corelli for help managing his booming business.
I first became involved when the band was hired there. Jack asked me to invest and manage the place. We had good entertainment, good audiences. Everybody got along. I felt like I couldn't wait to get there every night.
After hours, managers began holding private parties for friends and employees, co-workers who became like family. For waitress Carol Sims, it seemed like the perfect working environment.
I started working at the Lake Club when I was 21. Very young and very naive. Not in any way what I had prepared me for what was about to come.
One night after closing, Danny Corelli is alone in the club, and he suddenly feels like he is not.
I was surrounded by a cold chill, a drafty cold that went right through you and engulfed your whole body. It was like someone was right behind you, just very frightening. I became extremely scared, ran out, and left the lights and air conditioner running. This is something that you're trying to rationalize isn't happening when it is, and I just opted to keep it to myself.
Later, Jack tells Danny about his own strange experience.
I walked in, and the piano cover was down. I walked all over the place. There was nobody there.
The scariest thing was the unknown. You knew that something was happening. Like you knew that there was something there.
You can't let anyone know about this. This is bad for our business.
For weeks, they kept quiet. Then one night, Danny is left alone to count the receipts. He hears what sounds like a crowd of people talking.
You couldn't make out what they were saying, but you could hear conversations going on. I started to carry a rosary, being Catholic. I thought that it would protect me. Hello? Anybody there? I ran out of there and left the cash on the table and a safe still open. It just scared the hell out of me. I don't even really remember running, I just knew that I wanted to get out.
Strange events became more frequent. The managers began quietly sharing stories with trusted employees, including Carol.
Jack and Danny would talk about different small things that happened, and I really didn't believe there was a ghost there. It was something fun to talk and laugh about, but I truly didn't believe.
Then one afternoon, before the club opens, Carol hears a trombone playing in the back room.
It's too early for the band to be there. When they arrived a few hours later, I asked the trombone player, "Did you leave and come back?" He said he'd never been there. The whole band had been at dinner, and their instruments were locked in their van.
Employees began talking openly. Something is going on at Lake Club. Something needs to be done. One packed Saturday night, Carol borrows Jack's back office. When she steps inside, something is waiting for her.
It was very, very uncomfortable. I was unsettled, and then
They're gonna die. They're gonna die.
Cheryl runs out in terror. The next day, Jack asks what happened.
What did he say?
I can't tell you.
Carol makes the painful decision to keep the warning a secret. She's too scared and doesn't want it to weigh on Jack and Danny's minds. Jack visits Pete, the club's longtime caretaker, and describes what Carol saw.
About 6'2", big head, long mustache.
That sounds like Eddie. Eddie Voss. He used to bartend here. I got a picture. That's him right there.
Jack takes the photos to Carol.
That is him. That is a man I saw in your office.
Pete fails in the history. Eddie Voss makes a small fortune in tips from the club's illegal casino. In December of 1958, police raided the club and put a dent in his earnings. The financial stress gave him excruciating stomach ulcers. In 1968, he was diagnosed with cancer, and there were rumors that he'd been accused of stealing from the club. After years of financial ruin and physical pain, Eddie finally snapped. He put a shotgun in his mouth in the back office and pulled the trigger.
Since suicide was the worst sin a Catholic could commit, he might be trapped between the planes of life. When we found out it was Eddie doing all of this and that he was getting violent, it scared me even more. The violent way he died, he might turn that violence on someone I knew, even though he wasn't physically here, as far as we knew. The thought just scared the hell out of me.
Carol is still harboring her terrible secret. The ghost told her that one of the club owners is going to die soon. Weeks passed. Then Frank Novak suffers a fatal heart attack.
I had such sorrow for the family, but there was such great relief too, because it wasn't Jack or Donnie that died. That may sound cold or cruel, but that's how I felt. Relief.
Carol now feels it safe to reveal what the ghost told her.
I can tell you what he said now. He said one of the owners was going to die. I was afraid to tell you because I thought it might be one of you two.
God, that scares me. It still gives me the shakes.
Jack and Danny are left wondering, did Eddie Voss predict Frank Novak's death or cause it?
Did he have enough energy to stop the owner's heart? Maybe he's not going to draw the line at the owner. We knew something had to be done.
Danny reaches out to Father Michael Carr, a Roman Catholic priest and an old friend.
I believe in the spiritual realm we don't understand, and I believe that the Catholic Church teaches that spirits can communicate with us in different ways. I think it's far from superstitious. There is a reality there.
Jack gives Father Carr a tour. Within seconds, the priest feels an ice-cold presence.
It felt like someone had left the door open to a walk-in freezer.
The priest said that you certainly have something, Harry. Oh, as bad stuff.
Father Carr returns with his two colleagues to perform a blessing, hoping to put the spirit of Eddie Voss to rest.
We'll go through every club, every room, we'll bless them, and that's Why will capture the spirits and send them into the arms of the Lord.
The priests pray the prayer of Saint Michael the Archangel, moving H room and back to the office where Eddie died.
Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us in the day of battle. Be our safeguard against wickedness and the snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray, and do you, O Prince of our heavenly host, by the power of God, cast into hell Satan and all the evil spirits who wander through the world, seeking the ruin of souls.
Father Carr knows that these prayers can make an angry spirit lash out.
They can attach onto a person in a room and try to invade their body. But now that I bless this place, let's get away from the building.
They wait outside for nearly 30 minutes, and when they go back in, something has changed.
I didn't feel the cold chills. I didn't feel the hair go up on the back of my neck like it normally does. The building just became very, very quiet, and the coldness was gone.
Eddie was stuck in time. He wanted people to know he was there. He didn't want to be forgotten. Through our prayers, I believe that he was able to let go of this earth and go to where he was supposed to be.
The blessing puts an end to the paranormal activity, but the club's popularity wanes. 6 months later, they close their doors.
After the blessing, it felt much more at peace. It changed my beliefs, and that there is an afterlife. There is something that goes on after we die, whatever is left of us.
Before all this happened, I never believed in a ghost, but I'm a believer now. I don't care what people say. I know it happened.
What haunts you has a name. You may not know it yet, but somewhere between the life you are living and the darkness pressing against its edges, something is waiting to be found. These are the real stories of ordinary people who have crossed into that darkness and came back changed.